Hi vlog, welcome to my Q&A video. My first Q&A ever. I'm on the edge of my seat, as I'm sure all of you are. I am in my car. I started filming in my car like, I don't know, 2 months ago, and for some reason, my videos do so much better when I'm in the car. I also feel like I'm the most productive in the car, which is probably not a good thing, but it is the truth. So I'm in my car like 5-6 hours a day now, just working and driving around. I love watching Q&As. They're my favorite videos to watch of influencers that I follow, so I'm excited. I asked some questions on my Instagram story and we got some pretty good stuff, which I was not expecting. What's your Pinterest? BellaDay99. I'll link it down below too, but I use Pinterest for everything. If you follow me, you know Pinterest is my life support. I mood board absolutely everything. I think it's so good for you and for your brain, and if you're gonna be on social media, at least break up some of it with Pinterest, because there's so much inspiration and creativity on Pinterest that I think feeds and fuels all of our adult dying imaginations. I do it for all of my friends too. I make mood boards for them. How to start making passive income for beginners. There are so many different things you can do to have your money work for you. Studying basic finance. I would go read Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was the best thing I ever did for myself. I read it twice. And then I read The Richest Man in Babylon, which is a lot of the same principles, but it's just a shorter, more of a narrative style book. Building financial literacy and basic financial organizational skills is the best thing that you can do. And then you can figure out where you want to invest your money, whether it's stocks or real estate or buying and selling businesses. But you definitely need to get as financially literate as possible and then save up as much money as possible so that you can invest it into something. And then look into real estate or buying and selling businesses or something where you're, I think doing something that you're interested in, you know, it's hard, but I think if you're not interested in real estate, it's not gonna be as lucrative as it would be if maybe you are interested in stocks, or you have, you know, you can invest in cosmetics companies if you're really passionate or interested in cosmetics, and that's something that you could invest your money in, and you could buy and sell med spas. I think a lot of people think social media is a great way to make passive income. I don't believe that it's passive, not even a little bit. So do with that what you will. Your holy grail makeup products. Okay, I'm just gonna go like best of each product, okay? Merit Great Skin Serum, Ilia Base Face Milk Drops, Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer, Say Sun Glow, YSL Skin Tint, Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I also like Flawless Filter a lot. Hourglass Concealer, Merit Bronze Balm, Hourglass Liquid Blushes, Hourglass Setting Powder, Armani or Laura Mercier Liquid Eyeshadow, Hourglass Eyeliner, It Cosmetics Mascara, and Makeup by Mario Lip Products. Have you always been this confident? If not, when did you start creating it? I love that question. I feel like if you were to ask anyone that has known me since I was a kid, they would all say yes. But I think it was like fake confidence, like the kind of confidence that you think is real when you're younger, but when you get older and more mature and you have like a higher bullshit detector, you can tell that I was really just overcompensating and projecting for my insecurities. I was always really loud and talked a lot, but something you'll come to learn is compensation is loud and confidence is more quiet. And I felt like I wanted everyone to like me. I think growing up, or like especially in high school, I always felt like a loser, and I don't think anyone would guess that about me because I was a really good bullshitter, but I really did always feel like a loser. I was always worrying about how I came off, and I was always obsessed with defining myself. Like I always wanted to know what people thought of me, and I always wanted to be someone who was seen as really fun. So I really leaned into like being a party girl because I thought that that made me more interesting. I sort of neglected the parts of me that I now project and lead with, which is my intelligence and my brain and my quick wit. I just really wanted to be fun and laid back and type B, which I have those traits of course, but it's not really me. No, I definitely have not always been this confident. I was always really desperate for friends. I always wanted to be the center of the friend group because it made me feel like a sense of familial community. I was an only child. I grew up in a really like broken home. Love my parents, but I never had like I moved houses 10 times before I turned 16. So I never felt like I had like, and we never had any like family traditions. Growing up, we weren't very religious. And so I just didn't really have anything that was like grounding me. So the only thing that really was a constant in my life were the people that I was around. So I really clung to that and sort of developed codependent relationships with my friends. Cared too much about people that didn't care about me back. I think a lot of women experience this with men, you know, with boys. They feel like they are very dependent on male attention and having a boyfriend. I was like that with my friends. And I also think that, like I was talking about Pinterest and stuff, I think I could write a book on the art of personal identity, because again, like growing up, I was so obsessed with trying to define myself because I didn't really know who I was, but I came off like someone who really knew who they were because I was so obsessed with defining it. And something that I realized is that you don't really find yourself, you create yourself. I feel like I'm in a place in my life where I've created a version of myself that I really, really love, and I feel very authentically me, and I feel very competent. Competence breeds confidence. So if you are a competent person, like you know that you're funny, or you know that you're smart, or you know that you're kind, or you know that you're, you know, whatever trait whatever trait it is. If you know that about yourself, that's where confidence really is gonna be bred from. It's hard to feel confident, especially when you're in high school and you're in your 20s, because you've accomplished nothing. But when you start accomplishing things and you start getting some, like a sense of personal conviction under your belt because of your career, because of the people that you've surrounded yourself with, you know, I love my job. I've built my career on social media and I love it, and I'm so proud of myself for it, and I love what I do, and I love the people that I'm surrounding myself with, and I know that I'm making choices that benefit me, and I'm financially secure, and I'm emotionally secure, and I know exactly who I am because I've spent the time to create that. That's when I think I really started developing confidence, and I got a lot quieter. I didn't feel like I needed to prove myself to anyone. I stopped caring so much. Energetically, the second that you stop wanting anything, you stop needing anything, that's when everything comes in and you become so magnetic. What advice would you give to teenage girls? You know what, I'll tell you what I wish I had as a teenager. Find a role model, find someone that just inspires you and lights you up, that you think is healthy. Because sometimes as a teenager, we idolize the wrong kinds of people. So I think making sure that it's someone that's healthy and successful and well respected. And if you don't have anyone, part of the reason why I struggled is I didn't, like neither of my parents went to college. I didn't have a big sister. I didn't have anyone older than me who'd been through it. And so I was a little rough around the edges because I didn't know what I was doing. And I always felt like people could see right through me. And I was always sort of like a outsider. Like I was different because I didn't have the same, like my family and my home didn't look the same as everyone else's around me. I really struggled with that. So I would say if you don't have that, or maybe you do and you're just not taking advantage of it, if you have an older sister or a mother, or probably would be a woman, or an aunt, or someone in your school that's older than you. You don't even have to know them personally, but like there was a girl, she was captain of the drill team, and I'd never spoken to her, but she was like, I was in theater for 13 years. Theater was like really cool at my high school, so everyone did theater. This girl was the captain of the drill team. She made straight A's. She was in theater. She, you know, was dating this guy. She was just all-American sweetheart, and I thought she was awesome. And I always like wanted to be like that, but I feel like maybe because of my friends and because of what I thought I needed to be, I was never really like that. And I wish that I would have thought about her more and like let myself be inspired by her more, led with those traits that I always saw her leading with. So that's the advice I would give. Find someone, even if it's someone online, and ask yourself like, what traits is this person leading with that I can project? You wouldn't be able to recognize a trait that you admire in another person if you yourself didn't possess it. I can prove this to you. You have met someone in your life, everyone's met someone in their life, where you meet someone and you cannot understand why they act the way that they do. Or like you don't get their sense of humor. Like you just don't, it's not clicking, you don't get it. You're just like, why would they say that? Why would they do that? It's because you don't have that trait. So if you see someone and you're like, wow, they're so cool, ask yourself, why do you think they're so cool? Realize that you have the same trait, and I think just learn to project it. And I would also tell my teenage self, you don't have to say yes to everyone all the time. You're actually going to find a lot more peace, and people will want to be around you more when you are a more exclusive person. You don't need to give everyone access to you all the time. Prioritizing your family and a handful of really good girls is the coolest thing you can do. Will you ever go to law school? I don't know. I would love to go to law school and study law. There's a lot of things I would love to study. I would love to go study neuroscience, obviously. I think everyone can tell. I'm really into neuroscience and science in general, but I don't want to be a neuroscientist or a neurosurgeon or a lawyer. I just happen to love studying those things, and that's what I like to do with my time. I just really love to learn. I love law, but being a lawyer and the lifestyle that that would afford me, I don't think I would enjoy it. I'm not a sit in an office. I think I would just be miserable. Or maybe law that's like somehow integrated with medicine, medical malpractice or something. I think I would really enjoy that because I am really interested in medicine as well, but I just don't want to be a doctor. What do you listen to lately? Podcasts. I don't shut up about them. I have a whole playlist linked in my bio, I'll link it down below too, of the podcasts that I love, but I recently, if you know me at all, you know I am Andrew Huberman's biggest fan. If you don't know who Andrew Huberman is, he's a neuroscientist and professor at Stanford, and he has a podcast called Huberman Lab that I listen to every day of my life. I love him so much. I love his mission to make science accessible to the general public. I've learned so much from him. I love the way that he teaches. And Diary of a CEO. I love Steven. And then I listen to Lana Del Rey and classic rock for music, which I have some stuff public on my Spotify too. I grew up listening to classic rock with my dad and my 2 uncles. There was a time where I was living with my dad and my 2 uncles, and so it was just me and 3 guys, and there was a lot of classic rock playing throughout the house. Where were you born and raised? Dallas, which is where I live now. I left to go to University of Arkansas for college, and then I moved back to Dallas last year. I live in uptown Dallas, and I love it. Biggest advice for girls in their senior year? Well, I guess high school or college. You know what, either way, I would say embrace change like it is your job. The chances of you staying in the same circle that you're in now are low, and you want them to be low. You want to be someone that gets the most out of life. Yeah, be someone who embraces change. I know that it might be scary. I think find balance. Like, I love how much I care about the people around me, but it also makes things like more painful because it makes change scarier, and you don't want to meet other people because you love the people that you are with now, and you think that this is as good as it's gonna get, and you love the group that you have. If you're not changing, you're not growing. And I know that you're like, well, I don't want to grow. Yeah, you do. You have no idea how much potential you're gonna tap into and how much happier you will be when you start just embracing change. You can still have roots and feel grounded and still love the people that you're around, and realize that no one is going anywhere. That's another thing, is like, if you're meant to be friends with someone, or you're meant to date someone, like, you will. You know what I mean? You're going to end up with your people. So I think just trust the process and trust that everything's working out in your favor. It really, really, really always is. How do you get comfortable filming content? This took me so long. I remember the first video I posted where I was speaking. It was a get ready with me. I was a junior in college, and I was petrified. And I remember posting my first advice video and being so scared and thinking, God, people are gonna think this is so cringy. Like, you know, it feels like a vulnerable thing to do, and now it's what I do for a living. And no one cares. That's how you get comfortable. You realize that no one truly actually cares. I've had people comment like mean things on my TikTok, but I think you just become desensitized to it. It's just kind of like baby steps, you know? You take a step, like you post a video, and you realize that the world didn't end and everything is the exact same as it was before you posted the video. And you go, oh, okay, like, I think I'll try that again. Because no one cares. No one cares. If you don't look back in a year and you're not embarrassed, you're doing something wrong. Like, you should be embarrassed. When I look back at the stuff I was posting a year ago, I am so cringed out, but you know what? How else are you supposed to improve? No one starts and just is a master at anything in life. Realize that we're all going to die. No one is getting out of this alive, and no one actually cares what you're doing. And if you want to do something, just do it, because it doesn't matter. I promise it doesn't matter. So get comfortable by taking a baby step and just see what the byproduct is. You can always delete it. People are gonna forget about it in a week anyway. What is your biggest advice for boys? I have so much advice for boys. I think, okay, look, as a woman, there is a difference between playing games and understanding a healthy biological dynamic that I believe exists between men and women, and a healthy relationship that has and maintains chemistry. I think that is, the woman is always the prize, the woman is always the thing being chased, and the woman is the receiver. The man is going to have a difficult time feeling fulfilled and valuable in a relationship if he is not providing. That does not mean that he just has to pay for everything and that's it. It's not always about being a financial provider, it's about being an emotional provider. You know, knowing that if you ever needed something, he would be there. And I think that being the thing that is being chased as a woman is the most attractive thing you can be, and it's also the happiest you will feel. When you're doing everything you can to chase a guy because you're desperate for a boyfriend, you're going to attract nothing. It's actually a negative, energetic space to be in, so don't do it. When a man really, really wants something, he will get it. Trust me, they don't care. Like, men are very, very black and white. If he wants to date you, he literally just will date you. If he wants to text you, he's gonna text you. If he wants to ask you out, he's gonna ask you out. And if he's not doing those things, why are you interested? Why are you interested in someone who's told you a million different ways that they don't want you? The only thing that he's short of doing is texting you, I don't want you. The woman is always in control, okay? Whether anyone wants to admit it or not, you always have the control over the situation. And I think when women are confused why men aren't texting them back, why doesn't he want me? You're choosing this. Stop giving him attention. Stop chasing him. When you chase a man, he's gonna pull away. He's gonna run away, actually. When men feel trapped, men have to feel a sense of freedom. You have to give him space for him to chase you. That is the dynamic that always needs to be existing. And that comes from women having their own lives and having their own independence. If you find yourself constantly thinking about guys and you find yourself constantly wondering and chasing a guy, you're not busy enough. You need to develop your own life and your own hobbies and your own skills so that you are unavailable and you are busy and you are hard to get. You're not trying to be hard to get, you just are. You should be difficult because you don't want to be easy. You're very much worth all of the hard work, and you need to back off and live your life and trust that the right person is going to chase you and pursue you, and you just need to do nothing. Women need to do nothing. Actually, text him as little as possible. That's my advice for boys. What is your favorite book? I have so many favorite books. I love reading. I read every single night. I'm reading Harry Potter right now in the fall. Fiction, Red Rising. All-time favorite fiction series is Red Rising. If you read it, there is a character in there that we are the same person. And I think that's why I love it so much. My favorite nonfiction book, I love Atomic Habits, Stolen Focus, The Four Agreements. Why Men Love Bitches is a great book. I love Meditations, I love Marcus Aurelius. The Alchemist. Oh, The Great Gatsby. I love The Great Gatsby. I have a running list on my Amazon. And that's it for my Q&A. Thanks for watching. Bye.